Dying of embarrassment is better than actually dying. That is exactly what the people in this video must have thought. Because today we are showing you real individuals who had to go to the emergency room for extremely awkward reasons or due to very embarrassing accidents. Among them are couples who tried crazy things in bed and suddenly ended up in the hospital, celebrities who attempted incredibly embarrassing stunts, and even criminals whose stupidity almost cost them their lives. Let us start this video with a world-famous celebrity who has actually had countless uncomfortable hospital visits throughout his life, and all of them were completely his own fault. We're talking about Steve-O, the American comedian and stuntman who became world-famous through the Jackass movies. Even though Steve-O has been doing the most bizarre stunts for 25 years, the incident that landed him on this list happened only about 4 years ago. Back then, Steve-O filmed a video for his YouTube channel, together with the YouTuber Steve Will Do It. The idea was simple. Colleague Steve Will Do It was supposed to shoot Steve-O directly in the cheek with a t-shirt gun, except the ammunition was not supposed to be a t-shirt. Instead, Steve collected dried dog poop from his garden. He then mixed it with water and blended it in a kitchen mixer, creating a brown, thick mass made of dog waste. Using this mush as ammunition, he stood just a few meters away from Steve Will Do It and ordered him to aim the t-shirt gun at his cheek.
I'm Steve-O, and that's Steve Will Do It. And this is the poo cannon. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
The problem was that Steve-O got the disgusting sludge blasted into his ear at full force. He could not hear anything at first, so he washed himself off and went to an ear, nose, and throat specialist. The doctors were, of course, extremely surprised and helped the celebrity flush the remains of the brown sludge out of his ear. Steve-O thought that was the end of it, so he went home and recorded a podcast. But during the podcast recording, he kept experiencing sharp pains in his ear.
Yeah. Ow.
Yes, we are. That's not good, dude.
I know, dude.
So right after that, he went straight to the hospital. There, he was treated by another ENT doctor, who determined that although Steve-O's eardrum was not ruptured, his entire ear canal was severely injured. As a result, Steve-O was given eardrops, and the healing process took several weeks. Let us move on to a case that shows that some people are willing to risk their lives for money, or at least risk extremely unpleasant hospital visits. In 2021, aviation security officers at London Gatwick Airport noticed a man behaving suspiciously during immigration control. The man had arrived on a flight from Puerto Rico and was immediately questioned by the officers. At first, he answered quite normally, but his story that he was a simple factory worker who had just gone on a clubbing vacation in Puerto Rico with friends, but was now flying back alone, seemed extremely suspicious to the officers. So they examined the man more closely. During a scan of his body, they made a shocking discovery. The man had swallowed dozens of capsules filled with white powder, which was still inside his stomach. The case was clear. He was not a party tourist, but a smuggler, carrying cocaine in his stomach. The problem was not only that drug smuggling is a serious crime, but also that the man was in mortal danger and had to be taken to the hospital immediately. If just one capsule were to burst or tear, he could suffer a fatal overdose. And so the man ended up straight in the emergency room. And it really does not get much more uncomfortable than that. By the way, in other cases, smugglers who swallowed substances to smuggle them have died on airplanes, so the man from Puerto Rico was lucky after all. In fact, there are other body openings through which objects can disappear into the body. The American surgeon Dr. George Crawford learned this in 2021 as well. At that time, he had a patient who had something vibrating inside her abdomen. She had not swallowed it, but rather it had travelled upward through another body opening, and she could no longer get it out. X-ray images then showed that the vibrating device was stuck inside her. Dr. Crawford therefore performed a minimally invasive procedure, during which he also administered muscle relaxants to his patient. In the end, the patient was freed from her little problem, and now has a great answer to the question, what is the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you? Let us continue with the American woman Brianne Shipley, who experienced a truly extremely uncomfortable accident right after waking up. She wanted to use her eye drops, but confused the vial with the nail glue that was also on her nightstand. The result, the mother from Florida glued her right eye shut, and according to her report, it hurt like hell. At the hospital, her eye was treated with petroleum jelly to gently dissolve the glue. Let us move on to an accident that was extremely uncomfortable for several reasons. even though it did not have serious consequences. On August 9th, 2016, a car's dashcam in the US city of Burlington recorded a white Honda driving around with its gas cap open. At a traffic light, another driver pointed out the open gas cap to the Honda's driver. Since the light was red, she immediately got out to close the gas cap. Unfortunately, she forgot that her automatic car slowly rolls forward at idle as soon as she takes her foot off the brake. When she noticed this, she tried to get back in and stop the car, but she failed. Instead, she lost her balance, fell to the ground, and was then run over by her own car. Passers-by immediately came to help her up and tried to stop the car, but in vain. The car continued moving at walking speed until a tree got in the way. Shortly afterward, an ambulance arrived because the woman complained of pain. She was taken to the emergency room, but did not suffer any serious injuries. Next, we come to a true story of an uncomfortable emergency room visit that was so absurd, it was even retold on a television show. A couple from near Boston showed up at an emergency room a few years ago and presented doctors with a bizarre sight. The man was wearing a bathrobe, and attached to the center of his body was the hose of a vacuum cleaner. As it turned out, his penis had been sucked into the hose while the vacuum cleaner was running, creating such strong suction that it could no longer be removed. The problematic part was that the blood supply was cut off, meaning it was only a matter of time before the tissue in the man's intimate area would die. As a result, the man's fertility was also at risk. There was also something else strange. While the woman insisted that she had found her partner with the vacuum cleaner, he maintained that his wife had been involved in the act. In the end, the urologist was able to solve the problem, and it turned out that the couple had actually come up with the idea together to involve the vacuum cleaner in their lovemaking. Let us move on to a hospital visit that is probably impossible to top in terms of embarrassment. We are talking about an incident that the couple Liz and Eric from the USA experienced together. At that time, the two had been in a relationship for several years and had never noticed anything unusual in their sex life. But after they became intimate one day, something was suddenly different. Liz had reached climax, but it simply would not stop. At first, the couple just tried to calm things down and, for example, drank some wine, but it did not help. Liz also tried jumping around or distracting herself, but no, the tingling sensation and the climax just would not go away. After more than 2 hours, Eric decided that he had to take his partner to the emergency room. And that was, of course, extremely uncomfortable. After all, Liz was still experiencing the climax and now had to explain this to the doctors. They gave her sedative medication, which finally brought her out of that state. Let us know in the comments which case in this video you found the most uncomfortable or the most amusing. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you next time.